Hi, it's Mitch from Pickdawgz.com here with the free pick in the Wisconsin versus SMU college basketball matchup on Wednesday, November 22nd, 2023. Of course, I do tons of free picks every day, but if you're looking for the games I'm betting today, the games I like the best, those are my premium picks. You can find those at pickdawgz.com under the premium picks tab. Use the discount code PICK for 15% off. We also have the Dime Club and Sharp Trading Plays meant for people who make bigger bets, but you can't get those on the website. You have to text the number that you see on the screen. So text that number and take advantage of the Dime Club and Sharp Trading Plays if you like to bet big. But let's get to this one. We've got Wisconsin taking on SMU. Of course, this is a winner's bracket game. Wisconsin getting to this game with a one-sided beatdown of Virginia. I thought that was a shocker. Not just Wisconsin won, but just the one-sidedness of that game, because Wisconsin had not looked that good going into that game. Meanwhile, SMU comes into this one beating West Virginia, and both these teams kind of looking to emerge from maybe dust it off after a rough season in last year. And these are two programs that we're used to seeing in the NCAA tournament, and two teams that we're used to seeing pretty prominently. SMU playing their last year before moving into the ACC next year. So it's going to be a whole new animal for SMU playing against the Dukes, North Carolinas, Miamis, and Virginias of the world on a regular basis than the conference that they've been playing in. We know that just because SMU doesn't play in one of the big conferences, they play in a big conference, for college basketball, and it certainly doesn't mean that they don't have it. The one loss that the Ponies have is against Texas A&M, and those of you that have been following along with the early season college basketball, Texas A&M is one of the better teams. They've beaten up on a lot of good teams already this season. They played probably the toughest schedule of any team so far. So the Aggies, losing to the Aggies, not a lot of shame in that, but they were fairly competitive, but it ended up being a 13-point loss when all was said and done. Last time out, they were just a 3.5-point favorite against West Virginia when they won that game by 12. The Badgers, tough story, right? They lost to Providence, they lost to Tennessee, two good teams that they played to start the season as well. And then, I'm telling you, they go in that game against Virginia and they just bust up the Cavs in a game that was a no-doubter at halftime. They just absolutely slaughtered them. Wisconsin was coming off pretty much a down year. I really kind of ripped them in the video a little bit because I did not like the way that they played against Tennessee. I understand the score was only a 3-point game, but the game really was not even that close, and I really don't like this Wisconsin team. I don't think, while they have depth, it's not good depth, right? It's like, depth, it means you have a lot of good young players. Wisconsin, it's like a bunch of guys that played on a losing team last year, but what we saw from Wisconsin in that Virginia game, and I think Virginia helped them a little bit by missing some of those shots, but we're going to give credit where credit is due, and the Wisconsin defense just really has come through so far this season. They are 11th, in some of the defensive categories. Shooting against, that's something that they could probably improve on. But overall, the defense has been good, and the Ponies' offense, well, not so spectacular. So I'd probably have to give Wisconsin the edge in that matchup. But on the other side, it's the SMU defense that really is the most impressive unit of any of these teams. And I think they're the difference makers in this game. I went against the Badgers every single game so far this season. I'm not going to change now. I'm going to take SMU, and that's going to be my free pick. Of course, while you're doing your picks today, putting your bets in, use our betting tools at Sports Chat Place. They're going to tell you how often historically all of the bets on the board have hit. Then they're going to show you the odds and then put them in order for you based upon which are most favorable.